Welcome to the Raj Smriti Show. This is our special series on International Women's Day, and today we have with us Mrs. Madhvi Kukreja, who needs no introduction, founder Sanat Kada. Welcome to the show, ma'am, and must tell you, it's been a long-awaited interview. I have waited for this moment almost 8 years now when I first began Folktales.
My gosh, you make me embarrassed.
No, in the sense, when I got to know and when I started knowing about people of Lucknow, who's doing what, and I came to Sanat Kada and I started writing. So since then, it's been on my mind to document you. That time I was writing stories. Now we are doing the audio video interview. So I think right now we are at the right phase of time to do this, and I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored. And just a little correction.
Yeah.
It's Ms. Madhvi.
Miss Madhvi. Yeah, right. So I'm glad you corrected me because again, this is a women series.
Yeah,
and this correction was, when I was saying, I realized that I shouldn't have said that. So good note to start discussing about women empowerment and everything related to it. And your life.
Why is it important to say Ms. versus...
Exactly. And your life is an epitome of women empowerment in every aspect. I should say, be it personal life, professional life, the work that you keep doing in different areas, empowering women, girls, even men, I would say, So beautiful. So we'll begin with your, journey. How was Madhvi like a little girl? Aapka bachpan kaisa tha? What were your dreams at that point of time?
I think bachpan to wahi hasta khelta tha mera. Very privileged. I grew up in Calcutta and a city of
joy.
City of joy, but a city of discrepancies, I will say, that there was the one side was very wealthy and the one side was, and the poverty was like right on your face.
Right.
But yes, had wonderful people like Mother Teresa, who was actually a role model. And so there was, it was a very active, just in our little world of school. And I went to Loreto and La Martiniere.
Okay.
And so again, the best schools. And I was very active as taking part in all the activities. It was theatre, whether it was elocution we used to have. I even played basketball and volleyball.
Wow.
And just, I was a very active person. And the joke in my class with my friends is because I got this good conduct medal every year from class 6, I think, to class 10. And everyone would say that now the nuns must be turning in their graves because I don't know if you qualify as good conduct, but because I was so involved in activities and taking on leadership, I think that's how they judged that point. My parents were very supportive, but from शुरुआत से कुछ लड़ते भिड़ते रहते थे. I used to be very upset because my mother did a double MA and she was a top in Delhi University.
Wow.
And then she was a homemaker. So this battle between, why didn't you do anything in your life? And then she was always there for us. But I think those questions in my mind started right from then.
And how many siblings you were?
I have a brother.
Okay.
So between looking after us, my father, and who traveled a lot, and the home in general, she never went back.
So
to
I think
work.
she didn't have a choice because when you have a traveling partner, you got to be.
Yeah. But I think it's also she was from a time that this role was definitely for mothers. It was not for women. And it was not that you could exchange the role or, those conversations were not even happening. There was no question.
Right.
He was the earner of the family, the breadwinner, so to speak. And, but we were very, my parents were very open. So they would say so in those days, मैं तो भी लखनऊ वाले बच्चों को कहती हूँ because my deadline was 9 o'clock. अभी बहुत सारे लखनऊ के स्कूल के बच्चों की deadline है 9 o'clock. I mean, when my son went to school here, his friends had to go home at 7. And I would say, and we were boys and girls together. And we would, my parents would say hang out at home, and rather than So it was a very open atmosphere.
Okay.
Calcutta was a corporate city also.
Yes, yes.
And it had the bit of the British car.
Plus its own culture and flavor, the Rabindra
It also had the
Sangeet and everything was there.
So from a lot of lot of culture, of course, super food.
Yeah.
A lot of street culture.
Yes.
And then the British influence. So, it had all that. So, I mean, I loved everything about my growing up years in Kolkata. And it's just that, I think the battles at that point were also about why can't I go and see a night film, and why is my brother going to see a night film?
And
we
why
had
can
small
he
battles.
hang out with friends and nobody has
and
to
why
go?
does his deadline be little extra, and then why is my deadline? And then winning them in a way. But so I had a very, very privileged background, but I was very, very conscious, I would say, of the disparities of life.
And I think it was a secured and a protective environment also.
It was. Very, very, very. And a lot of cultural mix, because, you had the whole, like, the Bengali gang I had of school, and then, my parents had a very different, because many people from across the country came to work in the corporate sector. So it
And
was
your
very,
father was in which profession?
he was the marketing head of a corporate, which was Exide Batteries. So he sold batteries, in fact, to Russia and to East Europe. So he traveled there a lot. And so that's how I grew up. And
Till college you were there?
I was there. And then college, I was in Delhi, Lady Shri Ram.
Wow.
And but I had started doing social work. Then I worked with we used to, from Loreto, we used to go into the slums to teach children. Or they would come to school also. And it was just that I'm the one who, have kept in touch with them even up to now, like those same families. So I think there was something about like being conscious of your privilege. And I think that consciousness, we also had a big club life there. So even though I can't say I didn't enjoy all that, because this is the British Raj ka remnants, all the various clubs. But I was still, something was there, started the questions of your privilege and what it means.
And I think you were considerate as well as sensitive about the needs of others, and very aware of the environment, whether the privileged one you were going or to the slums. You could differentiate the difference, and you could question,
So I think just the questioning start. I didn't think that I did, and I think a lot of my friends from that time and have done very different things. I mean, a whole group of us. Of course, some have gone into traditional roles and everything. But definitely, now that I look back, a lot of the roots of the questions, like you say, started from then. And then in college, I was in Lady Shri Ram, and was refused at that point from St. Stephen's because girls who didn't have a hostel. And my dadi lived just 2 kilometers from the university, and they said we cannot be responsible for the character of the girls whose parents don't live in the city. And so because there was no hostel, so it starts lots of things. You realize that life is not so cushy, and even if you have a privilege. And I think in an LSR the first year, because Delhi is very, I would say Delhi is very, it's in a way violent. I mean, in the sense of the street culture of Delhi and the bus culture of Delhi compared to Calcutta, where, बहुत ही ज़्यादा आराम था बस में जाना, tram में जाना.
And people are also more gentle in Kolkata as compared to Delhi.
Absolutely. And Delhi, suddenly we had our buses getting kidnapped. And, these gundas would get in before, holy time, in fact, was terrible. And they would then just take the bus where they want and molest the girls and, rang lagane ke bahane or whatever. And it was like a shock, like going in Delhi's DTC buses and how you had to handle it. And a little experience, which has stayed with me, is just I was sitting in a bus and I think the guy next to me put his hand under my thigh. And मुझे लगा कि जैसे कोई चीटी हुई काट रही होगी. I mean, I couldn't even think, I couldn't even dream. And so I kept doing this, you know, मतलब कि क्या काट रहा है, trying to look. Suddenly I realized that this is आदमी का हाथ है यहाँ. And I got so upset and so shocked my first few months. That मैं उठ के, I didn't say anything. I mean, I had tears in my eyes, and मैं just उतर गई अगले stop में. You know, I just got up. I didn't turn around to look. I didn't, and that I think is such a small thing, and women go through so much.
True.
Has stayed with me to say that, you know, how I felt for days, months. कि मैंने किया कुछ नहीं. You know, why didn't I react? Why was such a?
I think probably it was a shock for you because you had not expected, you were not prepared. You had never probably thought in your wildest dream that something like this could happen, you know, in a
and then how
public
you know, however strong you are, because I was you know, captain of the house and whatever, best girl, and here I couldn't deal with it, you know. I just and so I think I carried on. I mean, one thing I forgot in school, I was very active with the Interact Club and everything, also, which is the Rotary Club ka Junior. And we took up a whole campaign in Delhi University then against what we called eve teasing. There was no word of sexual harassment. And I became the vice president and president of the club, of the college. And we, you know, we would train the girls, and we would be on buses and make the buses be taken to police station, straight थाने में ले जाओ. And we told the drivers कैसे होता है. तो you know, I mean, there was a huge campaign across the university, and from that to restarting our festival, college was amazing. I was you know, picnicky with cultural stuff going on, theatre I did in college, outside college. I did everything but study. Because, you know, here I was in this girls' college and I wanted to go to St. Stephen's, and even though it was at that point the second best, now it's the best. I still was very angry at being you know,
not getting admission there.
Yeah, and also, you know,
the
being
reason for
LSR,
rejection.
boys were not allowed inside. There were a lot of rules.
But then you studied all throughout in the girls' domain, I would say. Loreto, Lamartine, and then Lady Sri Ram.
Also, all of them. And then, which I think is also, I think now that I look back, even then, I used to feel that co-ed mein nahi gayi and, you know, all that. But, I mean, I don't know, when young people make decisions, I think a lot of women need that space to blossom. A lot of young people, and I think that's what happened to us. That, you know, we were more focused on not because in teenage years, and you become very conscious of the other sex, and you start focusing on boyfriends and falling crushes and this and that. But here it was really focused on activities and doing things.
Your attention
and whatever.
was not, you were not distracted, you know. I think.
And I think that girls get a space to blossom also.
And you have that bonding. You talk, you share, you're free to dress whichever. You're not conscious about your physical thing, I would say,
and the changes that are happening in the body. You're right. And it was really, really, college also was very exciting. Of course, trying to break. The hostel had very strict rules, which I think are still there, you know. PG in Delhi today, even girls have to come back by, now it's become 10 o'clock. And, you know, no boys can, visitors can come in. And, you know, so it's not much has changed in 30 years if you think of that.
That's very much there.
You know, and it was, I guess we're so scared of the word of sex and of, you know, कि क्या हो जाएगा, गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. But then I had a very, in fact, always, and in fact, I've not found it difficult to, you know, relate to the other sex because I had always a lot of friends from across the world. But I was always the friend because I was always supposed to be pleasantly plump or fatter. And I used to always, I laughed because there's a famous TV personality called Sohail Seth. and in the socials,
Yeah.
the matinee for girls and boys. I mean, he would come and ask me to dance because he was also fat. I was also fat, and it was really like ये चीजें थी, and I think being conscious of your there was a complex of your body and
Okay.
how you were not that perfect looking person. In
The princess
school and
that they call in
college.
school and college, the Miss.
Yeah, and the sort of Miss India model.
Yeah.
And even though you had a lot of friends, you were never anyone's girlfriend, right?
Okay.
Because
So you did feel that pinch somewhere?
and also everyone, even parents wanting to lose weight. And I mean, of course, because I was the only one who was fat in my family, so to speak. And generally being teased pleasantly, but I think it's not that there was any really vicious, if I think, but somewhere people who go through vicious attacks because of their body in whatever way, I can imagine what it does
They
to
go
them
through.
emotionally.
True.
While for me, it was, but because it was there, it was something that became very part of an inferiority, an insecurity, till really late in life. I mean, it kind of stayed with you. And
I think it becomes a part of your unconscious self because, indirectly लोग बोल देते हैं, थोड़ा कम खा लो, थोड़ी सी पतली हो जाओ, या शादी होनी है, things like that. Indirect, even though they are meaning you well, they want you to
the health के लिए,
health point of view से, but somewhere it pinches deep within.
It does. It's just, it doesn't, you're not definitely not, like now, I mean, if I come down and it's such a nice feeling that the team, not that all of them will know this, they'll say, Didi, bahut achhi lag rahi hai aaj or something. And it's such a nice feeling because this is something between women that I love it because we can dress differently and that we can tell each other how beautiful we're looking.
Yeah.
And I just think that for years, nobody said that. Nobody ever said that.
Even though you're pretty and you're beautiful, you have a lovely smile,
I'm fat. And I sort of stayed. So that's sort of one of the things that how they're little things, I don't know if they're little or they're big, but they're there with you. Or but 1984, so I've jumped to my youth. आपने बचपन पूछा था.
That's good. That's good that we are progressing one by one. One question here, like since you studied 15 years in an all girls environment, and even I did, like convent and then women's college, so the boy exposure. I was in Patna that time, so Patna Women's College and St. Joseph's Convent High School. So 15 years of education, but I think I never missed that boy thing. Yeah, हमारे conscious में वो था ही नहीं कि boyfriends होने चाहिए. Yeah, those like only after college that starts kicking in maybe. But do you feel that this whole system of boys and girls should be abolished and demolished, and that both of them should grow together, be it school, be it college, be it any environment we talk about, to shed this whole idea of women empowerment?
I think it's very important because of the backgrounds of the families we come from. There would be very few families, say like mine, who would be so open about it. So the girls who walk in there will come from a background of people who are consciously sending them to an all-girls college. So that they can protect them and they can just be safe, and then they go to their husband's house. So I think that background is still there, and I am amazed at some of my friends who came from that background and yet blossom. So I'm not saying, but I think that though I've chosen to put my daughter in a girls' school again, and really that's something that I really had to think about as to why am I doing this? I mean, of course, I thought La Martiniere was a different kind of experience. My son went to study hall, and they're both very different experiences, both very good schools. But I know that I will give her the exposure out of school. So she will, but for many others in her class and whatever, they're not going to have that kind of exposure. So that's why I think that it's because in a way we want to keep that patriarchal set up secure. And so we go on and on and on like
Right,
that, right?
right.
And we don't want to, we're too scared to break that, and and how will we manage it, and what will happen, and
Right.
they'll have friendships, and then they'll fall in love with someone from a different caste or community or whatever, and so we want to, that good girl image, we want them to grow up into doing that.
Correct. And as parents, I think that security is also there, that at least you are निश्चिंत हैं आपकी, चलो कुछ पंगे नहीं होंगे, even though you can't take guarantee, because they are
जबकि होते
कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है.
and I think now these, like, so school like La Martiniere here is now quite open to in some ways, though they don't allow
boys are not allowed in their fate right now.
Yeah, they do not at all, and not even to even big brothers are not allowed.
Big brothers
I mean,
are
it's
not
such
allowed. Right.
a strange rule, but in some ways I've seen many girls who've come out of that also, who've been like
doing well in life, socializing, mingling.
Like reaching for the stars, and also just being very easy with the other sex and everything. And so I'm really unsure about how I see the positives also of people working, but I think it's worse for the boys. I think it's much worse. I think girls in only in schools, still it's a space for growth,
right?
And but boys, it's mostly a very macho atmosphere, and because it's so masculine, I think boys really lose out on that, how to relate to a girl,
right?
What is the feelings through that journey that girls feel?
The sensitivity goes missing, I think, somewhere, because they don't know how the other genders
there also
feeling.
It's very, I mean, patriarchy has its asar on both sides.
Yeah, very
so
true.
Boys also are so, I mean, have to be masculine. I mean, they're feminine boys, so to speak. It's like a masculine girl still is accepted.
Yeah.
But a tomboy, जो कहते हैं ना, but feminine boys, उनकी तो वाट लग जाती है. मतलब people really
they look down upon them, laugh at them.
And if you're gay or whatever, LGBTQ, whatever, A+, you will just have it. You know, I mean, and there's a certain masculinity, or whether it's कुछ हो जाता है तो एक दूसरे को मारेंगे, and or even some of the sports which are very good in both cases have a very good side, but then there's some of them turn very competitive and masculine also. So if you cannot make it in those sports, then how do people look at you?
True.
Or if your body is not like that, or if you're not interested and you're interested in art and dancing, I mean, boys cannot take that choice.
Right.
Girls can still break those barriers.
They have already broken, they've been there in almost all professions now.
Absolutely.
But boys still have to do lot of things to get that acceptability in certain professions.
So that gender stereotyping starts in both sides.
True.
So, and I'm not saying that in co-ed schools wo nahi hota hai, but at least there they have a space to work it out for themselves with each other.
Right.
And people here also have this, in our space, still have that thing ki, they'll become wild like America, and look at the undergraduate
free
colleges there, and bahut free ho jayega and whatever. And so we have a very tough relationship with sex, right?
Right. That's a taboo word. We should not talk about it or discuss about it.
चाहे कुछ अंदर कुछ भी हो जाए.
In fact, I mean, because of that we are sitting here. That's the essence of it that makes us gives life to us. So you had a fabulous college life. I'm sure you were exposed to almost everything that you're doing right now has its roots in schools and colleges. What happened? Did you fall in love during college times?
No. I mean, I had crushes.
Okay. Minor crushes and all.
I had a couple of crushes.
Okay.
But they didn't go anywhere. They were also with some macho guys. Because how you know, the stereotyping around you, it comes into all of you.
Yes.
You know, it's not like I'm a feminist, or I'm definitely I started using the word in college already.
Okay.
But 84 November were the Sikh riots, and that was something that was a turning point in my life.
Okay.
And I found it very. It happened, and I think the next day I was with a lot of other students out on the streets, and I think experienced death for the first time, pulling out people from under bodies, and the next day Trilopuri वगैरह में, you know, people were inside.
emergency भी शुरू हो गई थी.
और you know, घर जल रहे थे. People were injured, people were raped, and that experience just was the turning point in which I decided that, you know, I'm going to do something else with my life. Because still college, I was thinking international relations. I would like to, you know, travel or do a UN kind of more glamorous job. But here, there was something about what happens in the grassroots. And of course, I then worked in the camps for, I think, the next 3 months, hardly going to college. And even had to experience, like our principal said, ki, you know, I'll take you out, you're the president, you can't do all the social work, you have to be in the college. And I said, you do that. I mean, I think this is more important, and, you know, as the president of the college, you should be really proud that, you know, one is out there doing this. So it was very traumatizing, and of course, a lot of learning. There was a group called Nagrik Ekta Manch that was formed of all, you know, ages and students, and made a lot of friends also, stayed with me till now, have stayed, and just doing that social work, I mean, from khana khilana to kapde lana to, you know,
addressing their wounds,
recording their whole histories, what happened. And of course, unfortunately, the 84 cases and didn't get anywhere till even now. I mean, I think Titler or someone got, you know, because the Congress leaders, the grassroots were involved in it at that point. And there was just a free hand given. And it was very, because I'm from a Punjabi family, and so you have Sikh parts to all your family. So I think even talking to your own family, you know, arguing, because your own family were breaking with other parts of the family because they were Sikhs and Mona Punjabis and all that. So I think that was the whole thing was a huge learning for me, very traumatic for everybody, all of us, for those who suffered. And well, turning point for me to say that this is what I want to do.
You were in second year, final year? Third year, final year. And what was your major in college?
My major in college was history.
History, okay.
And because I met a lot of people who were from the development sector, who were part of this larger Nagrik Ekta Manch. We were some 500-600 people, and it was like a quick course in everything. Like you had to collect money, you had to collect grain, you had to collect, you know, distribute it, you had to fill forms, you had to like just listen to people's stories. It was everything. And then but my parents were very definite, and this thing that nahi, masters karna hai. You can't start working now. And I think it was not those days jab aajkal after BA people can take a break and work for a few years, figure out what they want to do. Now you have to do your masters. So I had to, and they were very upset because I was a very good student in school. And like topper level, and then in college I was like, I barely, like, I just were in my 50s, you know, whatever, didn't even get a first division, and they were really like, सब कुछ और कर रही हो, पढ़ाई तो एकदम नहीं कर रही हो.
You were excelling in life rather than studies
and they were like really, you know, to still, you know, how parents dreams always at that point. And so they said masters करना है, and anyway. So that's how.
So you
I
did
went
your
to
masters.
America.
Okay.
And
To do your masters or
to do my
Okay.
masters. I
That was where?
applied and in the New School for Social Research.
Okay.
And so again, like I'm saying, a lot of opportunity my whole life. Of course, went on a scholarship and had to work for my living. So it was another kind of learning. I went to New York.
Wow.
And
City of dreams, the American dream.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And I think even though, again, this was my last academic degree, I think my parents were right. and in the sense of just, I think because you move out of, the home scenario and you really move into another social context and everything. I think that again is a huge learning, and
it gave you a global perspective. I would say, you saw India in all its glory, right from Kolkata to New Delhi, and not the war side, but still the right side or the conflict that we can talk about, and then to New York, wherein it's the whole American dream. People do so many things, and New York being the hub of all of it. Like I was in New York for 6 months with UNICEF in their HR department, so 42nd Street, Manhattan. So, that was in 2009, 9 to 10. I did my 2 years of masters at Penn State.
Oh, you did in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not at Philadelphia. It's State College, so it's a university campus altogether, and I was on a Ford Foundation fellowship.
Wow. So, I worked for Ford Foundation for 6 months.
So I went on that fellowship to US, and that was one amazing experience. And as you're saying now, I can feel that even I have lived all these, like you're going to 15 years of girls' education. I've also done the same, and same thing. Brother is allowed, you are not allowed. Even though you are getting everything at par and the best of, is offered to you at the platter. But still these questions would come, that why can he hang around with his friends? Why can't I? What safety he is not bothered about, and why should I be bothered about? Or why are parents, bodyguard chahiye tumhare liye? Simple statements like that. उसको बॉडीगार्ड क्यों नहीं चाहिए उसकी भी तो बॉडी है सो वी हैव लिव्ड ऑल ऑफ दैट in that whole scenario of the middle class or the upper middle class family we talk about. So New York must be a fabulous experience.
It was like you've seen the city, if you've been there, and I think because it's such an international city, you can just walk on streets and you can feel that you're seeing people from across the globe, and it's like a melting point. And the conflicts, the excitement of the different kinds of dancing, music, food, it's all there. And it's not an easy city to live in.
It's not.
Because it's tough, but I had a blast. I mean, I used to, raat ke, pata nahi, 2 baje, I used to come back on my own, and the subway was not so safe those days.
True.
Now it's much safer.
No, incidents still happen,
at
any point of time.
And I used to come back alone after dancing salsa. And, so living on the edge, there was a fear, but yet doing it all. And I lived there 5 years.
Wow.
And after my master's, I worked for a year. And it was a very conservative time in America with Roe versus Wade, which is the anti-abortion movement. And also the, South African freedom movement was going on. And then the LGBT, the huge AIDS crisis was happening at that point. So sort of got involved again. I worked for the National Public Interest Lawyers Bar Association. And again did, and then I traveled for a whole year. I traveled across the globe, I would say. Best year of my life. South America, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil.
Wow.
And then...
Just travel?
Just travel. एक छोटा सा bag लेके 3 कुर्ते 2 सलवार.
Wow.
And always. And then in Turkey, Egypt, Turkey, East Europe, then bits of West Europe. So 2 very long trips.
You did.
For 4 months each.
So 5 years in New York, you did these 2 extensive traveling. What happened next?
So I came back, and I think I always wanted to, follow my dream. And I I was in a relationship there. And,
Okay, while in New York?
Yeah. And we were living together, and families expected we were going to get married. So an old friend from school, and then, you know, we from Lamartnia days. And, but he was working in an investment bank, and he wanted to stay there. And, you know, a multimillionaire today, as I always laugh. And I just decided that I wanted to come back. And I think both of us knew heart of hearts is not going to work ever, because I wanted him to come back, and it was always a joke that what will he do, like work in a bank in a gaon in SBI or whatever.
Grameen Bank.
But I was, so I just, well, when I came back, I wasn't sure again where it's going to take me. And I lived I went off to a place called Chitrakoot, which is, of course, on the map now. Then, so nobody even knew ki kahan hai. I mean, they'd heard about it from the Ramayana and everything, ki Ram ke 14 saal ke banvas. And, so there's a place there, Karvi. And I worked in the Banda district hota tha, dono. So it was just that my only criteria was कि हिंदी speaking होना चाहिए, और क्योंकि you know, so Rajasthan, UP, Bihar, इन तीनों states में मैं opportunities
देख रही थी. The 10 Bimaru states that they say during that time.
बल्कि MP में पता नहीं क्यों कम देख रही थी उन दिनों में, इन तीनों में ज़्यादा देख. But हिंदी speaking, तो I just thought कि you know भाषा. So I was looking, and this Mahila Samakhya program had started in Pamba and Chitrakoot, and so there was an organization called Jagori, which is based in Delhi. It's a feminist training center.
Right.
And they were doing the trainings, and Mahila Samakhya program had started. And after a year, so initially I went there for 3 weeks, and you know, a week back in Delhi. But in a year, it ended up being that program, I mean, Jagori withdrew, and I stayed on, you know. And 14 years later, I left Chitrakoot after 14 years.
So I lived there for 14 years.
For 14 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, everyone always says, wow, but पहले तो एक न्यूयॉर्क की बंदूकें उन दिनों में, and New York's crime rate was huge at that time. And then फिर बुंदेलखंड की बंदूकें, तो everyone used to say कि हाँ, wow, कैसे. I said, obviously मुझे बहुत मजा आ रहा था, नहीं तो कोई ऐसे नहीं मतलब रहता है इतनी जिंदगी का इतना बड़ा हिस्सा. But yeah, I mean, I just found, I mean, we were the first women's group there, and then from and so I think every woman that you know, we had to pull out from her home to make a team. And initially, like, it was there were only some male NGOs.
So what were the topics that you were covering? Or
it was women's education. It's education for women's empowerment. It was Mahila Samakhya. And then we moved into, so it was like making people, you know, the adult literacy rate in UP was very bad, and there was a huge thing of, even if people came to study, there would be a huge loss then, and nobody. So Chitrakoot had, it became Chitrakoot in 96. I went there in 1990. And it had like 4% literacy rates. There was a lot of violence. But you know, there was any issue. आप मतलब जो भी issue है, आप उस पे काम कीजिए जो local issue है. And then we'll come to education and literacy later. तो हमारा पहला issue actually was water. पानी की वहाँ बहुत high थी. So we got women to learn how to repair hand pumps. And worked on the water resources. So they were the first, and you know, it was something to me that from New York to New Delhi to Kolkata, women were not plumbers, they were not electricians, and they are not today also. These fields, they don't take up. I mean, मतलब घर में कोई चुटुर पुटुर कर ले,
घर में भी नहीं करते, we wait for the male counterpart to do it, कि बेटा करेगा या husband करेंगे.
तो and it just was that these women, उनको पानी की ज़रूरत थी, and they were wanting to, like, जब पंप खराब हो जाता था, या I mean कुएं भी थे, but people had moved to hand pumps, वो उनको 2-2 किलोमीटर 3-3 किलोमीटर, and they used to say कि मेरा कसम चाहे मर जाए पर मेरा घड़ा ना फूटे. मतलब इतनी हद थी पानी की, इतनी त्राही थी. तो हमने we started, and so women repaired pumps, and it had been done in Udaipur in another program there, Swachh something it was, but not in UP. And we had to persuade Jal Nigam, and we decided that not to get trainers from outside, and to persuade the local Jal Nigam, because we thought that would be more self-sustainable,
right?
Because women. So it was really exciting. I mean, I think just a small example of how it increased women's mobility, just going in those trucks with the pipes and the whole thing. हम लोग गाते हुए जाते, गांव जाते, people would come, some people would not let us touch their pumps because these were Dalit women.
Yeah.
And our work was with Dalit women in particular. And
the whole caste
class,
yeah.
all the whole कि हमारा पंप मत छुओ तुम लोग तो. जब बन जाता था फिर लोग उनको मतलब चारपाई पे बिठा के चाय पिलाते थे, and they were all illiterate women, but we had found games and ways of teaching them. So I think it just one thing led to the other, and मैं साल भर के लिए गई थी, but
stayed on for 14 years. I think that was your Vanvas time at Chitrakoot.
It was, I always say. And people, I mean, it was mera maika hai abhi bhi, I say. And it was the experience of my life. I mean, experience kya? It's a hissa of my life. It's not an experience.
It's more like you lived, you grew, you learned, you experimented everything there.
Yeah, and I have found a community there of women, and a lot of my bachas fostered about 22 children.
22
and
children.
And a lot of them are from, their mothers are from there. And they are, so as single moms, the kids come and live with me, study, go back to chuttis to their mums.
So you keep 22 children here? Like over the period of years?
We at any given point we have, I have 2 right now.
Okay.
Like, so, besides the 2 that technically belong to me. So, but like Bawa, who's there, whose friends are causing the ruckus, he's been with me since he was maybe 6 or 7. And maybe goes home for a week or 5 days, and he just stays here. So they move on, then they go, and then they...
new ones come.
Then new ones come. Then they keep coming back for their chuttis, because now this is their home.
Nani ghar.
Nani ghar. Bawa calls me Nani. Somebody calls me Masi, according to the various relationships. Somebody calls me Ma.
Wow.
It's... so बस वो एक रिश्ता, गाँव एक रिश्ता, फिर violence पे बहुत सारा काम हुआ. And in 92 only we set up another organization called Vanangana.
So that was Mahila Samakhya, and then Vanangana
so
happened.
Mahila Samakhya was going to focus more on education.
Okay.
And then at that point it decided that it will move out of one of these blocks.
So that was also named by you? You had started that organization?
Vanangana.
No, the Mahila Samakhya?
No.
Okay, that
was a government
body. Okay.
It was a NGO registered by the government with funds from the education
and
department.
With Jagori you became part of it, and you did that.
In the
and then you founded Vanangana.
Yeah. So then I founded Vanangana, and we decided to do alternative skill-based work for women, work on violence against women, and in the area. So Mahila Samakhya withdrew, and because they had a role to play, and they went to other blocks, and we focused in this one area. And touch wood, I just look, violence का बहुत सारा काम हुआ. I think an average now of 300-350 cases a year from 1999.
Like just domestic violence or all kinds of violence?
Mostly a lot domestic violence, 70% domestic violence, sexual assault also, kidnapping, all the sort of kinds of violence a woman can go through. But I would say 70 to 80% is domestic violence. And deaths,
Dowry cases.
dowry cases, I mean, just a lot of unnatural deaths, suicide. But we do believe as an organization to walk the lamba rasta. So if a young child has come to us with a case of sexual assault with we say from the family. Now, the father has assaulted her or whatever.
Brother,
Now, you can't just do a case and leave it.
Right.
So, it's many decisions. So, court cases in some cases, which is deaths, sexual assault of this nature, where there's nothing to negotiate anymore.
Right.
But along with the court cases, it's that whole, I mean, you know, for example, sexual assault with the father cases have taken 18 years, you know, to get a judgment. Unke saath, chahe supporting them in court, then if they're young children or older women, education, फिर livelihood का क्या होगा? आप छोड़ो घर तो फिर आपका क्या होगा?
Right.
How do you deal with whether it's journalists, whether it's society at large? How do you build your confidence again? Mental health. So you walk with people for their whole lifetime.
Whole life,
sometimes.
in fact,
And you know, sort of walk with them and take them right across. So that was, and then I think we really believe that it's not ki.
Not just about justice, but
I'll just saying that
just life.
I mean, because what is justice?
Yeah.
And you're right, a just life.
A just life.
But what is, that's beautifully put in fact, but what is justice? And at the end of going to court every day, when you know everyone's looking at you, aapke the way the lawyers question you,
right.
it is sometimes also as traumatizing.
Yeah, it
maybe.
is.
And
they make it a point to traumatize you, like what we have seen in bits and pieces heard from, you know, women, the way they question, they try to provoke you that you feel shy and you don't talk about it or you run away from the case.
And also it's not easy to be a single woman anywhere, but not particularly in Chitrakoot and Banda, where you will not get a space. I mean, Maike mein bhi aapki jagah nahi hai.
Right.
Sasural mein bhi nahi hai. Because often we found, and I think this whole thing about, so we didn't directly work with men for many years, like maybe 20, 25. But we would do, like a girl was killed.
Okay.
And we would question her Maika and her Sasural. Because वो बहुत बार she would tell people at her Maika, and then they would not, they said कि मतलब अब मरते तक तुम्हारी अर्थी वहीं से निकलेगी. So the question is that why didn't the Maika support her? Why didn't they take her out of that situation when when they know that she's been suffering so much violence over there? And so, you know, there's a campaign in which the team does a natak and they go to the Maika and the Sasural and they say, "Mujhe jawab do." I mean, the sort of lash gets up and asks everyone, मतलब क्या मेरा हक इस घर में नहीं था? I mean, भाई क्या मैं भी नहीं रह सकती थी? उस चूल्हे में मैं भी अपनी 2 रोटी नहीं बना सकती थी?
Right.
So it is really a question for everybody, you know, in the whole system, the whole, and it's not like men and women. It's women
itself,
also. Yeah, it's the whole structure. It's a whole patriarchal structure which makes marriage so important at the end of the world for a girl. कि बस उसी में रहना है. The cops, the panchayat heads, the doctors. I mean, she would say everybody is connived to kind of, you know, 100 deaths a year, which were unusual under suspicious circumstances. And so it's a lot of these survivors that we are still working with, that we help set up their businesses, that we
empowered them in the real sense of the word, I would say, be it personal or professional.
So this was really the kind of way we have worked, and I think somewhere along the way. And as an organization, we also worked on riots. We supported we did relief work in Gujarat after the 2002 riots, in Muzaffarnagar, and individually also. And I think that after I did believe that the local leadership should take on the baton beyond a point. So, and I knew that even though, because for everyone I was the Didi, I had pulled them out of their own violent situation. A lot of the women in our team were survivors. It was a 90% women's team. I think 95% maybe. An accountant, unfortunately, always been a man, and then the guard or whatever, but
driver, guard,
But I think that I did feel, and so somewhere around at the end of the 90s, I started thinking, or early 2000s, that I should now move out, and that the only way the team will take on leadership. And although, I think leaving that space, that familiarity, gaon ghar ghar ka rishta, every rickshaw wala would know me, and every, getting off that train. I think even now that the kind of, and it was a very violent area. One of the experiences, my first experience, was to see a dead body hanging on a tree. The first month I was there,
like we see in films, and we get so disturbed. You saw that
dacoits, but even Dadwa, who's the famous dacoit who was killed in an encounter in 2009, he would be in villages and he would say ki आप बता दीजिए हम हट जाएंगे, आप अपना काम कीजिए, and because उनको भी पानी चाहिए था पंप से, और उनको भी. And besides violence, we worked with community building collectives and women coming in leadership. Women built tanks, women built roads through Manrega. So we had our good hat, which is the development hat. The bad hat was
addressing all these
violence
issues,
and things. Cases हुए हमारे ऊपर, भागना पड़ा, बंद करना पड़ा संस्था 3-4 महीने.
क्या आप महिलाओं को भड़का रही हैं,
फिर वो there was a case against a dairy department person, and he took out, he put an FIR against us. He was in jail, but हमारे cops क्या है, we were also going to, he kidnap कर लिया है. So then we filed for stay in Allahabad, and we had to close, or death threats. So it was really intense, as you can imagine.
My mind is going blank hearing all this, that you've experienced all. We have seen this in films or read here or heard stories, but you going through all of this and then still
and
empowering women in every way that you can is...
The leadership is still there, and they took over 2004. 2004 to about 7-8, मैं काफ़ी जाती थी, 2 हफ्ते महीने यहाँ से. And I chose Lucknow because Lucknow felt more nazdeek to Chitrakoot and Karvi, while my family was in Delhi now. And but
your parents.
Yeah. And I chose Lucknow because थोड़ा गांव के नजदीक, and इतने दिन गांव में रह के फिर वापस एक बड़े शहर जैसे दिल्ली में आना was very difficult, even though बहुत रिश्तेदार थे, बहुत दोस्त थे, बहुत.
But you did a beautiful thing, because leadership, once you are in a leadership position, a lot of people stick to that. They don't want to leave that authority, that power, that position, that kind of respect also, कि इतने लोग मुझे respect कर रहे हैं. But the whole idea of leadership is that you create new leaders, you create a system, you give it back to them, and then you move on to a new journey, which is what you did by leaving Chitrakoot and coming to Lucknow.
Completely, you put it so beautifully. Because I do believe that leadership is not an end. And leadership has to change and rotate, and otherwise it's really becomes
redundant for everyone.
Redundant, and it's about yourself then. It's not about the work you do.
Very true.
And it's about your power and your equation with power, rather than
the work and the difference that you're doing.
So I think that was very important, and also I felt that work to be sustainable. And much as I was different, I was a leader, I pulled them out, and definitely you need a change agent, maybe like me or whatever you can call me,
Right.
like to do that little, thoda sa chingari lagane ke liye and all that. But if you, but I was not the role model. And I had my privilege that I've talked about, and that I had that privileged family that I came from, and so often the girls would say, "Magar aap hum aapke jaise nahi ho sakte."
They'll not relate to you.
हाँ,
Yeah.
because आपके
The
पास
kind
वो
of education you have had,
the
the
social
experiences.
capital you
yeah.
have, the everything. So you fight battles definitely, but not the kind of battles that they have to
fighting,
fight in every way. And I felt that, so I would always say I'm not the role model, and they had to become their own role models. So the women, like there are 4 women right now leading the organization. They're all single, and they're all like from that area.
Right.
And they're all people who've made decisions, who've come out, so even though initially maybe I would have it easier for a DM or an SP to relate to me, to, give me that, madam, aaiye stage pe baithiye kind of thing. Because, because of, again, the class thing.
Yeah.
But they definitely, once they have established their leadership, it's just beautiful and amazing. And it's 30 years of the organization. अब भी हम लोग ने celebrate किया यमुना के तट पे, and they're going on.
What a satisfying feeling. So Lucknow, Vanangna started here in Lucknow also?
No, in
I mean,
Kalyan.
it happened in Chitrakoot, but when you came back to Lucknow, did you?
No, nothing.
How did the Lucknow chapter begin, or what was your work in Lucknow then?
So initially तो very lost, and except खाना बहुत अच्छा था इस शहर का और ये वो, but I didn't at all want to. I was still doing trainings, and I did community-based organizations across the state.
As a consultant, you would work.
Consultant
freelancer,
also,
trainer,
freelancing. I was on, board of lots of small organizations. मुजफ्फरनगर में, मिर्ज़ापुर में, फैज़ाबाद में, ऐसे अलग-अलग जगहों में, and to support the work that they do, and did, because my whole experience was with ज़मीनी स्तर का, तो इसलिए उनके साथ काम करना, and also still gave a lot of time to Vanangana. But around, I did my last training in 2017.
Okay.
So as late as that. So tab tak, I even did some, international work with Sudan and Sri Lanka and different conflict zones, Tajikistan, training again on violence against women. Mostly was trying to look, ki main kya karu, and I didn't, because I didn't want to be like a resource center, because I'm a rooted person and a community-based person.
Right.
So, कुछ दिन के लिए तो ऐसे ही किया, आना जाना और कुछ नहीं. And then from 2000, in the meantime, my son had been living with my mother.
So coming to the son part, now that you've mentioned, you had your living relationship in US.
And then that
got
finished.
over.
Yeah.
And then 14 years in Chitrakoot. So
And
were you
then,
in love, or how did the son happen?
My son, as you know, I'm a single mother.
Yeah.
So my son was my biological child.
Okay.
And so there is an unknown father.
Okay.
And we had my son in 1995. So 4 or 5 years after I moved to Chitrakoot, actually.
Okay.
Though I have to admit that I did leave for a while because I didn't know how this whole thing would take to over there.
And how people would accept it there. Yeah.
But my parents were also very, very upset at that point. And I guess Neena Gupta was my one role model that I knew
at that point
about.
of time. Wow.
Yeah, but there was nobody else that, but unfortunately, even to now, now there are a lot of women who have adopted girls. A lot of people across the board. A lot of people as single women.
Yeah.
One of my friends is a single father, has just had 2 children. But this was again 95. My son's 28 now.
Wow.
And I but a biological child, that was like huge. But I think I was 32, and by then I had my belief, and I felt that I did feel that it's mothers who bring up children, and I didn't have anyone in my life that I wanted or that I was thinking of. And marriage for me is a disaster.
Okay.
I mean, I saw marriage in all disastrous forms. I've never been married, and I don't plan to be.
But the kind of marriages you saw
around
you,
and in my analysis of it, and I feel that patriarchy is
very dominant.
definitely marriage is the institution that is the hinge of patriarchy. And for me, it was basically, it's not like कि मुझे झंडा लेके निकलना है.
Right.
पर मुझे I believe that I should live my life with what I believe in.
Yeah, and you should not be forced into any institution that you don't believe.
Yeah, and that if I don't believe in it, but I wanted to have a child. I mean, I like the fact that as a woman I had the ability to have a child, and I just decided that so why not? I mean, what is to stop me to do that? I have the confidence. I have
the resources to take care of your child.
I mean, at that point, they all felt that I didn't. Everybody was really angry.
Yeah.
And advantages of my size. Nobody even knew till I was 7 months pregnant.
Oh my God!
And then I just popped the question to them that hello, not a question. I'm
Child
just
is
announcement.
Coming.
And so it was tough. It was tough for my parents. It was tough for friends also, who were just worried more about me, and not that they had any moral issues about it. But tough for my work. Har taraf se, it was challenging. But of course, it's become so normal. But not that many people followed in my footsteps. I don't know in Lucknow anybody.
No. Absolutely
and even the few who might have, they then say कि ये मेरे बहन का था, ये मेरे. पुराने ज़माने में तो बहुत लोग पता नहीं क्या रिश्ते हो जाते थे. But nobody would be able to accept the fact.
Take this decision, like you took this conscious decision that you don't want to marry, but you want to have a child, that too a biological child, and you want to raise the child in whichever way you want. I don't think so even one person would still agree to this concept and do it.
I know one person around the same time as me, a little after me, just a few months, in fact, a year or 6-8 months.
Right.
And she was very bindas. She was even more bindas than me, I think. And then the couple in Bombay. But इतने साल में अब हो गए 30 साल उस बात को. But unlike I guess many parts of the West and everything, here it's still.
If, as you said, Neena Gupta, we can just talk about that celebrity only who took that decision. You know that my child, my way, money, no money, I'll do it, come what may. So we still don't have any celebrity examples.
And so many single women, because their husbands have thrown them out, because they're single because the husband has died,
in some reason,
but often thrown out, disappeared, divorced, whatever. हजारों की गिनती है मेरी, not only Chitrakoot, now in Lucknow
itself.
And every city and every village, but they bring them up themselves then. But इतना है कि वो ठप्पा है that they had legal sex once. Basically, that's the whole point.
Right.
And so here I am, and it worked.
So you were working in Chitrakoot. The son was being raised in Delhi by your parents?
He was there for 4 years in the beginning. Then, of course, he became the apple of their eye. Apple of their eye. And we laugh because my brother had girls, and then so he'd be the only future Kokreja to take on the air, because after my father, particularly, he took a long time to recover. He's my biggest supporter.
Wow.
But it was too shocking for him. All his whatever. But then they always fought with me, and then finally they came and stood by me. So they must be smiling from the sky now.
I think they saw your conviction, your love, your trust, your whole dedication towards not just your work but your relationships as well, and that changed their hearts.
Yeah, maybe. Forever. You have your own moral things you've grown up with, so it's very difficult. I understand. Like my mother used to say, because I used to question the home as a class thing, because homes are very class based.
Yeah,
कि
yeah.
काम करने वाली will sit on the ground,
Yeah, yeah.
or उसका अलग जगह होगी. So I used to always question. So she used to say, जैसे मैं तुम्हारा नहीं क्वेश्चन कर रही हूँ ना, तुम मेरा
मेरा
मत
नहीं
क्वेश्चन
question
करो. I grew up like this.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's been a beautiful journey. I have to
Lovely.
say. My son stayed with my parents for 4 years.
Okay. Then you
And
got
then
him to
we
Lucknow.
got him to Lucknow. By then, my
Okay.
mother said, "Ab mere bas ka bahar hai," and he's growing up. He asked too many questions,
Right.
and she used to get very. But from the beginning, he kind of knew the story, and
Okay.
he was
So he was
very, very
accepting everything.
I mean, as a very chota bacha, of course, I didn't tell him the whole story, but he knew कि मैं मम्मा की पेटू से निकला हूँ, and that's just kind of enough. And
So you came back to Lucknow, you were working in Lucknow, and then your child was in Delhi, your parents understood, they bonded, and then things started happening. He also came back to you in Lucknow, and then now you have a second child as well. So Megha, and you have a partner as well. You believe in love per se. You might not believe in marriage, but you believe in love, you believe in relationships. So how did Megha happen? Tell us about your partner.
I'll begin with my partner, I guess.
How
I
did
don't
you
know,
meet
he just
him?
walked into my life. Some common friends brought him here, and he was introduced, and he was fourth year college, he was looking for, places to volunteer, to do things, to be excited. So he walked right in here, and I think it took a few months, but slowly fell in love. And I think, not that both of us were looking, because we were not looking at, we
And you
didn't
have
fit
an
in.
age gap as well.
Yeah, so 24 years. So
Wow.
we were not looking at each other as possibilities. So because we are also from the same background of the
Right.
world in general, in
Yeah.
which you don't look at a older woman as your partner, or such a younger man. But it happened, and we've been together for 15 years now.
Wow.
And different backgrounds. He's, of course, a performer, a singer. I've been in this social activism, now working with culture. So I think that we just wanted to be with each other, and it's just, I kind of said that, look, now at 48, I can't do this chipai and whatever. I need to be, and I was very clear in one marriage. Now he obviously at 24 also was
Wow.
not sure, but I think it was as much courage for him. I think it maybe more courage was needed by his side, because so of course took his family. Some extended family came around, but it took his own parents and his own family 7 years to accept
Adjust
it.
and accept,
mine
wow.
also took 2 years, because my poor parents said, everyone else does one thing different. Why do you keep doing something?
Everything different every 2-3 years, I guess.
Well, but for me, it was the same path that I was following. I think if you don't have a fear for things, and if you just let yourself go, then things happen. It's not that you want to always do something that's shocking.
Right.
Because love is something that happened. And when I tell my team that they get worried that shadi nahi hui, they don't fall in love, I said that it happened to me at 47, 48, and they said, humko itni der nahi wait karna hai. I had relationships before,
Right.
but they were not people who I wanted to be with in any long-term way. So, and I think that even my parents were most concerned about कि दिल्ली बॉम्बे में रहो तो maybe this will be accepted.
Lucknow,
but Lucknow में they will not let you. And my mother had lived in Lucknow for a few years. Come from Calcutta to Lucknow. She said यहाँ तो अभी भी जनानी और मर्दाना अलग अलग होता है. And there is not a this is the kind of city it is. And but I found that I think everything happens in this city also. but बस वही है कि पीछे पीछे
छुपा छुपा रहता है. You know, you have people have relations, extramarital and everything.
The Raja Maharajas and the
Right.
Nawabs and to people in history to
Yeah.
now. But here, I think it was that I believe in this and I do it. Unlike that,
Other people.
and I think if you tell people, then people just, you know, if you just like come out with it, you're open about it, you say what you believe in.
Yeah.
I think people,
Wow.
well, I don't know what they say behind, but
No, I
certainly,
think nobody says anything. You're
And-
one person as a role model who everyone loves, and your personal life they are not bothered about. They are
but
more
you know, and
connected
I
to
think
you.
for me it was the most important that say my son, I mean,
Yeah.
he was 14 at that point.
Wow, you were 48, son was 14, and wow.
Askari was 24 in
Oh,
between.
lovely.
And I said that, you know, I told him, and he said, "Oh, Mom, I knew from the first day. I know your code of your phone, and I knew what
I've
was
seen all the
happening."
message and everything. Wow, lovely.
And I think when Megha came into our lives
Yeah.
was much later, of course. She's 6 and a half, going on 7. So she, I think it was more Askari that really
He wanted a child? Okay,
and he said that, you know, I want to bring up a child
Okay.
and it would be, so we must, and I kept saying I'm too old, and you know, Arman also kept saying it's such an age difference.
Right.
But she's again become the star of our lives.
Right.
And I think that when you create a family, which luckily I have, like for example, even here I live upstairs, my work is downstairs.
Yeah.
It's a very open space for
Everyone, and anyone can
so
walk into,
Megha's
yeah.
just growing up with everyone. I don't even know where she is. It's like
Right.
growing up in one large joint family without the hierarchies. And so that's how Arman grew up. And that's why as a single mother, I didn't find it challenging to bring him
Right.
up. That's how Megha has grown up. Like in between a lot of people with a lot of love. And, you
Yeah.
know, and I think that's why I'm able to bring up so many children. It's not because of only me, but because of the whole
Community
sort of
and the
community
family
and
that you have
network
created.
around.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
you don't believe in marriage, you believe in love and relationships, and I think you have broken all the barriers, be it not marrying, be it being a single mother, be it having an affair at the age of 48 and going into living relationship, if we can so, you know,
yeah, we're both
term
different
it.
religions, of course.
Yeah, so breaking the religious...
That was like the least of the problems.
breaking the religious barrier as well. So what is love for you if we come to that?
I mean,
thing?
I really feel that love is something that that is it's a feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, in a very
Like
romantic
Ashikana
way.
love you believe in?
But I do, and I do believe that love is very important in this world full of venom and hate.
Yeah.
And but I do feel that living together is much more, you know, practical, and you know, you have to. But I think in any relationship, living together, even a mother and a child,
Yes.
you know, the child grows in a certain way. So I mean, for me, that's then, and I think there are various. I mean, there is that one sort of love which is sexual, or the you know, with the heart going
passionate,
dug,
yeah.
And then there is which is romance. And I don't know, I like to believe कि एक ही आशिकाना है जिंदगी भर, पर पता नहीं मुझे ये पता नहीं मुझे अभी भी. I mean, it happened. I don't know, but there's definitely, I think it ends up becoming commitment because there's so much intimacy and you spend so much time together. And otherwise, I think that if people were allowed to just be in love just because of the way they feel, and then some of the feelings might be fleeting. So it's not like I'm saying that, but I mean, because an arranged marriage is also when people arrange it, they look more at 80% of the background,
the circumstances
90%,
and everything,
So class should be same, everything should be
Caste,
same. But for me, class, caste, our family is similar. But for me, it's an intimate relationship between two people after all.
The two souls, the two hearts.
So, I mean, you have to work it out, and then it works out. I mean, it's so exciting to have another kind of culture. I mean, mine's a different culture. I come from that culture, and then they come together, and you respect each other's. And, you know,
you grow beautifully together.
You do.
Complementing
and you
one
fight,
another.
and you argue, and you debate, but, you know, that's all part of
growing up.
Yeah, and I think all my kids who've come out of this have also, grown like that. And I think the space that we have here with people again, a lot of women, I think there's 70% women.
Yeah, so
here.
I mean, coming to the work front, after Vanangana, Sanat Kada happened in Lucknow, I think.
Yeah,
so tell us about Sanat Kada as well.
It came in 2007 or 8. We started the store, very small store initially. And because it started because of just out of the blue, like color in my life after a lot of violence that I worked and lived with. And believing in that, this Lucknow suddenly didn't have pure fabrics and had gone into that terry voile. And even though there was the chicken curry, which is the embellishment, and the zardozi and everything, but the people had started working on mixed fabric and not pure cotton. I mean, all the pure cotton looms had gone, in fact, at that point, or power loom had come, or other stuff had come in. I was very surprised when I saw that in Lucknow. So anyway, the shop came out of that, and it just, I mean, I don't know, I thought I'd be like a social entrepreneur and a business with a reason, like say directly from the crafts people. Is what Sanat Kada is. Sanat is craft and Kada is home.
Wow.
And at that point, Lucknow, I hear, is second tier city now, but it was the third tier city. And, these craftspeople and all had not got a market here.
Yes.
The Mahotsav and all had also become very commercial, moved from what it was. So I think that and generally I chose Lucknow as a home when I came from. Because I thought it would be Chitrakoot, because I thought it would be easier, because it was a small, lovely city.
And it had a metro feel as well,
Yeah, and I thought that as a single mother, it would be easier for me to be here and of course closer to a rural context. But I also felt that Lucknow made quite fast that bahut sara hai which was not discovered. And a syncretic culture, which is something I really valued. And so a lot for me to learn from. And I think coming from Punjab and West Punjab, I think there was that whole thing of being in a syncretic culture. And so I think things in Sanat Kada have really evolved. We started the festival out of the fact that it was Mela Numa and that there would be, people enjoy everything. So from crafts to performances to khana pina, like the traditional melas.
Yeah, it has that flavor, and it's more than a decade now, and
15 years.
It's become global. People from outside travel Lucknow just to be in the Sanat Kada festival. That's the beauty you've done.
I'm most happy with these days is that as it's evolved, we have that theme every year that we do, is that a lot of young people have started coming. And it's now, in our data, it's 60% young people.
And this year the theme was love.
Yeah. And our team is full of young people. So I think
women.
And of course women.
Yeah.
I take it for granted. So that's for me very exciting, because that means that that's a future of the culture rather than only the malls and this and that. And now at 60, I have a new, so we have a home cooked restaurant.
Naimat Khana is there, right?
And now, so one thing came, then we started small events also here. We have something called the Adda.
And the Bioscope as well.
Yeah. And now my dream project is to have a cultural history museum, culture center, which has a cultural space, performances, food, craft, everything all rolled into one.
Lovely. I mean, what a beautiful journey to talk about, from breaking every barrier, be it personally or professionally, be it traveling, not marrying, being in a relationship, having relationships, having kids without a marriage, being a biological mother, or, adopting a child. You have lived it to the fullest. They say, live your life larger than life. I think you're a perfect example for that. And this month I've interviewed around 30 women done. You're the 31st. It wouldn't have been a better, no other person would have been on this seat than you. What a lovely journey, I mean, hats off to you. And good luck for your dream project that you're thinking. I'm sure that will again do wonders to the city. And as you said somewhere that how will people take? I think you've been so honest in your communication about everything that people love you. They adore you and they accept
Thank you for that.
as you
That's
are.
No, thank you, and I'm glad we had this interview,
Yes.
and I realized that we think the same.
Yeah. You thought we are different, but I think somewhere we are connected in almost ideology, the thought process, the way we see women. Oh,
Really.
lovely.
You know, it was lovely talking to you,
Same
and and I hope that I dream. I mean, that I don't know, a lot of young people get lead their lives in mast rehna chahiye. yaar.
Ji.
You should lead your life and do what you believe in. That's what I feel, and that makes the path simple, really. And
You
not
are saying it
complicated.
simply. I'm sure you have had the toughest of times, but you have sailed through that with this beautiful smile of yours and that conviction and love in your heart that, no matter what, you'll stand by yourself first and then to others.
Thank you. That sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.